When most people hear the words, New York, they immediately picture the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, the Empire State Building, and millions of people rushing through busy streets. But behind the bright lights and towering skyscrapers lies a story filled with ambition, tragedy, hope, resilience, and endless reinvention. Today, I want to take you on an unforgettable journey through the history of New York. Welcomed millions of dreamers, survived unimaginable hardships, and earned its place as one of the most influential cities on Earth. Long before New York became famous, it was home to the Lenape people. For thousands of years, they lived peacefully on this land, hunting, fishing, and trading along the rivers. Everything changed in 1609 when English explorer Henry Hudson sailed into what is now New York Harbor while searching for a route to Asia. His voyage opened the region to European settlement. A few years later, Dutch settlers established a trading colony called New Amsterdam on the southern tip of Manhattan Island. According to one famous story, the Dutch purchased Manhattan from the Lenape for goods worth about $24. While the real details are more complicated, that legend has become one of history's most famous land deals. In 1664, the British seized the colony without a major battle and renamed it New York in honor of the Duke of York. That simple name change marked the beginning of a new chapter. During the American Revolution, New York became one of the most important battlegrounds in the fight for independence. Some of the largest battles of the war took place around the city. Although the British occupied New York for several years, it eventually became part of the newly independent United States. Few people know that New York City briefly served as America's first capital. In 1789, George Washington took the oath of office as the first president of the United States in Lower Manhattan. It was a historic moment that forever linked the city to the birth of the nation. As the 1800s began, New York's future changed forever with one incredible project, the Erie Canal. Completed in 1825, it connected the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes, transforming New York into America's busiest commercial hub. Goods, people, and opportunities poured into the city from every direction. Then came wave after wave of immigrants. Millions of people escaped poverty, war, and persecution in Europe, arriving at New York Harbor with little more than hope. For them, the Statue of Liberty wasn't just a monument, it was a promise that a better life might finally be possible. Between 1892 and 1954, more than 12 million immigrants passed through Ellis Island. They brought different languages, traditions, foods, and cultures that transformed New York into one of the most diverse places in human history. By the late 19th century, New York was growing faster than almost anyone could imagine. Steel skyscrapers reached toward the clouds. The Brooklyn Bridge amazed the world with its engineering. Wall Street became the financial heartbeat of America, while Broadway turned into the nation's entertainment capital. But success came with painful challenges. Overcrowded neighborhoods forced many families into cramped apartments with poor sanitation. Crime increased in some areas. Poverty existed only blocks away from enormous wealth. New York became a city of incredible contrasts, where dreams and hardships often lived side by side. The early 1900s brought another heartbreaking tragedy. In 1911, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire claimed the lives of 146 workers, many of them young immigrant women. Locked doors and unsafe working conditions trapped them inside. The disaster shocked America and led to major workplace safety reforms that still protect workers today. Then came the Roaring Twenties, when New York exploded with music, art, fashion, and economic prosperity. Harlem became the center of an extraordinary cultural movement known as the Harlem Renaissance. Jazz filled the streets, and writers, musicians, and artists inspired generations to come. But prosperity didn't last forever. The Wall Street crash of 1929 triggered the Great Depression. Businesses failed. Banks collapsed. Millions lost their jobs. Even New York, the financial capital of the world, struggled through years of hardship. Families stood in breadlines while many wondered whether better days would ever return. Yet New Yorkers refused to give up. Even during difficult times, construction continued. In 1931, the Empire State Building opened as the tallest building in the world. It became a symbol of hope, proving that determination could still reach incredible heights. After World War II, New York entered another golden era. The city became home to the United Nations, strengthening its role as a global center for diplomacy. Businesses expanded, tourism flourished, and millions of visitors came to experience its energy. Still, New York faced new challenges during the 1970s. Crime rates rose dramatically. The city nearly went bankrupt. Entire neighborhoods struggled with unemployment and neglect. Many believed New York's best days were over. But history had another surprise. Communities fought back. Leaders invested in rebuilding. Businesses returned. Crime gradually declined, and by the 1990s, New York experienced one of the greatest urban recoveries ever seen. The city once again became a symbol of opportunity and innovation. Then came one of the darkest mornings in American history. On September 11, 2001, terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. Nearly 3,000 innocent people lost their lives. The Twin Towers collapsed before the eyes of the world, leaving behind unimaginable grief. For a moment, it felt as though the heart of New York had stopped beating. But once again, the city refused to surrender. Firefighters, police officers, paramedics, volunteers, and ordinary citizens displayed extraordinary courage. Neighbors helped neighbors. People from every background stood together. Slowly, New York healed while honoring those who were lost. The construction of One World Trade Center became more than a rebuilding project. It became a symbol that hope will always rise higher than fear. Then, in 2020, another challenge arrived. The COVID-19 pandemic turned bustling streets silent. Hospitals became overwhelmed, businesses closed, and countless families suffered heartbreaking losses. Once again, New Yorkers demonstrated remarkable resilience. Healthcare workers became heroes, communities supported one another, and the city gradually came back to life. Today, New York remains one of the world's greatest cities. It is home to more than 8 million people representing hundreds of cultures and speaking hundreds of languages. It leads in finance, fashion, media, technology, education, sports, and entertainment. Every year, millions of visitors arrive hoping to experience its unforgettable energy. But perhaps New York's greatest achievement isn't its skyline. It's the people, the immigrants who arrived with nothing. The workers who built impossible skyscrapers. The artists who changed culture. The first responders who risked everything. The entrepreneurs who dared to dream. And the everyday New Yorkers who continue proving that no matter how difficult life becomes, resilience is stronger than adversity. New York isn't perfect. It has faced poverty, crime, disasters, terrorism, economic collapse, and pandemics. Yet every time the city has been knocked down, it has found the strength to rise again. That's why New York is more than just a city. It's a symbol of hope. A place where millions have chased impossible dreams. A reminder that history isn't written by those who never fall, but by those who always find the courage to stand back up. And perhaps that's the greatest lesson New York has ever taught the world. No matter how dark the night becomes, a city built on dreams will always find its way back to the light.